Good morning, my dear students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning program. Welcome to Science by Harsha, Maam. My dear students, as you already know, we are doing lesson number 15, which is some natural phenomena. Now, in our today's session, we are going to first have a quick recap on whatever part we have done. What we discussed in our previous lectures, we discussed about the static electricity and how static electricity is induced. Then we discussed about how can charges be transferred by rubbing. In our last lecture we did that how can charge be transferred by conduction, and in between we also did about one experiment that like charges repel each other while unlike charges attract each other. Now in our today's session we are going to talk about the charges in the atmosphere, or you can say it as atmospheric electricity. So basically if I talk about this fact, then till the beginning of the 18th century all these things were like almost unknown. But in 1752, it was the American scientist, that is Benjamin Franklin, who said that the lightning that is caused during the rainfall, it is because of the charges. And he tried to explain this with a small experiment. We'll see the experiment on how he did it. But before we do that, I want to tell you one thing, that whatever things we are enjoying, it is just because we saw from the nature and we got inspired from the nature. Like for example, if we take the birds are flying, seeing the birds flying, Wright brothers thought that why can human being not fly? And they tried and they attempted for making a plane, and so only their name is registered. So, in the same way, whatever things we are enjoying, the electricity, which is a boon to us, it was only possible because during lightning we saw that okay, in the dark enough amount of heat and light is produced, which is enough for us to feel like as if we are in a daytime during the night time also. And that is how electricity, the boon to us, came into existence. And all the credits to Benjamin Franklin, and so only is called as the father of electricity. His discoveries are not small. Okay, first let us have a look at the experiment by him. So our today's first topic is Franklin's experiment. Now, what Franklin did? It was a thundery night, and at that timing, even there was rainfall. So, here are the clouds which were forming the rain, which were responsible for the rainfall. So there were clouds which were responsible for the rainfall, and the rain was falling. During that time, what Franklin did? Franklin was standing over here. This is his house, and here he was beside the house. Somewhere here we have Franklin. Now what Franklin did? He tried to flew a kite, and just imagine how can he fly the kite on a thundery day? He could fly it because he had made the kite which is made up of silk. We cannot draw original Franklin over here so normally. Okay, so what he did, he took a kite and he flew the kite. But what is the speciality about that kite? That kite is made up of silk. What is the speciality of the kite? It is made up of silk. So he made the kite made up of silk, and he had a metallic key in his hand. Now, what actually happened? He was flying the kite on a thundery day. So, what happened because of that? Because he was flying the kite and the kite was made up of silk and it was raining and lightning. Whenever the lightning occurred at that time, because of the opposite charge that gets induced on the silk cloth, because of the clouds that were charged, here they were transferring the charge, and from here it came over here, and he could feel an electric shock during the lightning. Yes, during the lightning, he could feel the electric shock. With this, he concluded that there is a large amount of heat which is produced when the, uh, the electrically charged clouds they get rubbed from each other by any means. Whenever charge is flowing from one cloud to another, at that time, large amount of light is produced, and that is what is lightning. Very simple experiment. Okay, so let us write it down. What did Franklin did? It was a thundery day. This happened because the silk cloth got charged during the lightning. And this charge passed through his body to earth. He felt the electric shock because he was holding the metallic key. Okay, so this is about the theory portion of Franklin's experiment. Note down the theory portion, then we will study about the lightning and thunder. Be quick. In short, we have written the experiment. Be quick. Now, moving to the next concept, that is lightning and thunder. What is the lightning and how it is caused? First of all, you are knowing that all the like you already know that all the clouds, they are like containing water particles. So here are the clouds which are containing some water, and because of that water their mass is very high. So the huge masses of clouds are there. Okay. That is containing water droplets. This big clouds, they get charged. How? Because of the air, dust or carbon particles which are present in the air, they will make this particular clouds charged. So the huge masses of cloud gets charged through air, dust or carbon particles. As they get rubbed through air. Now what happens? Now these particles got charged. Depending on the rubbing, they get charged. Now when they get charged, what happens? There is rapidly this electric charge flows from one cloud to the other through the air. So very quickly what will happen? The charge will flow from one cloud to the other. So rapidly the charge will flow from one cloud to another cloud. And this is how lightning occurs. So, if you want to write the particular definition of lightning, then it is rapid flow of electric charge through the air between two oppositely charged clouds is called as lightning. So, here it is the definition of it. Here, when this happens, large amount of light is produced. So the light gets produced over here and we can see it, okay. Large amount of heat and light energy is produced, okay. So these are important points regarding the lightning, okay. Now we'll study how is the lightning occurring at the on the earth. Now what happens over here, when the lightning strikes and there is a tall building over here, if there are tall buildings, then what will happen, this charge, it will get attracted over here on this tall, the among this is the tallest and suppose this is the short one. Now during lightning what will happen? Which one is the tallest? This one, red one. So what will happen? All the charge that is because of the light, when the lightning is produced, when these charges are flowing at that time, there is no charge on this tall body. But opposite charge will get induced when this charge cloud is flowing over here. So suppose this is the negative charge, so on here, over here, positive charge will get induced at the top. Then what will happen? Then from here, all the charge will start flowing like this. And this is how lightning strikes on the tall buildings. And so, it is advisable not to stand under a tall building or a tall tree during the lightning. Okay, what is actually happening? Let me explain it to you. On the tall buildings, opposite charge gets developed when a charge carrying cloud passes over the building. So, when a charge carrying cloud passes over a tall building, it induces opposite charge on the building. So, the flow may occur from charge to the building. And this is how lightning strikes on the building. Now, this can shatter the building and set it on fire. Okay, so these are important parameters. Please note down important concepts about the lightning. Then we will move further on the lightning safety. Be quick. Move to the next slide. Note it down, then we'll move further. So I hope you have noted it down. Then comes how to be safe from lightning. Whenever there is lightning, rush to the place which is having less height, any building or any house. These are the common things which you should keep in your brain. If you are traveling, then keep the windows, doors, and everything of that vehicle shut. Okay, car or a bus. If you are going through a two-wheeler, then take the shelter under a short tree, because you know that at height the lightning may damage it. Next, what are the do's and don'ts during the thunderstorm? The very first one is do not carry an umbrella over your head. Like, see, what will happen is when you are carrying the umbrella over here, it's having a metallic tip. So what will happen? Directly the charge will get induced over here, and it can damage you if you are holding this. So it's generally advisable to hold the umbrella like this in a slanting way. Okay, you can rotate it. So do not carry it over your head. Directly on your head, don't carry it. Next is don't stand under the tall trees or near the electric pole or near the metallic railings of your house, anywhere. Next, do not lie on the ground. Instead of it, just sit and put your head between your knees so that your head will be safe. Next, if there is no shelter around, then you can take the shelter only under the shorter trees. That will be helpful. Next is if you are inside the house, then whatever electronic items are there, just unplug them and turn them off, because of the lightning they may get damaged. Another important thing is don't go out for taking the bath in this kind of situation, and avoid the contact with the metallic railing near your house, maybe fencing of the house or anything, the window railings, avoid touching them. Next is don't stand near the windows or in the balconies that are having the metallic railing. Okay, so because the metal will quickly attract the opposite charge. Now, the very important point, that is the lightning conductor. What is the lightning conductor now? For a tall building like this, For a tall building, at its top, a lightning conductor is kept. Now, what is lightning conductor? The lightning conductor is a metallic rod that is having some spikes on it which are made up of metal. So, it will be somewhat something like this. So, there are some spikes over it. These spikes are having the connection directly at the bottom over here. At the bottom, here it's connected directly with earth. Now what will happen? Opposite charge, that is the negative charge, will get developed over here. Now all this charge that will come will directly flow through the ground, and this is how earthing happens. Directly all the extra charge is sent to the mother earth, and the tall building will become safe. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept of the lightning conductor. What is lightning conductor? It is a tall Whenever lightning takes place, opposite charge gets induced on the lightning conductor, and all the charge is sent to earth. This is called earthing. So, this is all about the lightning conductor. Please note it down. So I hope you have noted down today's content. Friends, today we did about the Benjamin Franklin experiment, then we studied about how the lightning is occurring, then we did about the lightning safety, that is what are the do's and don'ts if you are outside the house and inside the house, and the last part, the lightning conductor. And I hope that you have understood the today's content. That's all for today. Thank you so much for listening to me and have a very good day. Bye bye.